In today's episode of The Tipsy Tan Traveller, I interviewed Dot May, an entertainer and entrepreneur who shares her tips on creating, manifesting, and following your bliss. Dot also shares insights and advice to entertainers and comedians starting out. I met Dot by going to her clown class, and I really recommend if you're travelling through Brisbane or Australia, make your way to the sideshow.
And that's every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
It was really just pulling everyone out of their comfort zone and letting that inner child come out. And you could really see how Dot, it's her passion project. She laughs and she gets other people laughing and really feeling inspired and allowing that creative optimism to shine through, which is what I really loved about you. Comedy is a great way to be able to travel and make money on the road.
Yeah.
What would be your foundation of being able to have the confidence to get out there?
For people that are interested in doing stand-up comedy, my best advice would just be book in a spot and just give yourself the opportunity to get up on stage and try something out. And if you do have support, if you have some creative people around you that are yes people and full supporters, then get them to come along and let them be your support crew and bond over that, because I think support in the things that you love is really important, and also feeling that safety from a little bit of a community that makes you feel like you can just try things and you can make a fool out of yourself and it doesn't matter. And like, that's when you learn the most, when you can just be free to try stuff.
Yeah. I think what's been really beautiful about your Humour Experiment and the clown exercise or clowning class that you had is it's that freedom and allowance and safe space that you give people. How did you actually come up with the Humour Experiment?
I had to start from scratch. I actually had to start from cracking it and being like, no, I don't like my life the way it is at all. I'm going to stop.
So a moment of destruction.
Yeah, just a moment of complete abandonment and then self-reflection. And what I realised is as adults, we don't tend to be encouraged by the world around us all the time to actively dream. We're embraced for dreaming when we're around good people. Be like, yeah, follow your dreams, whatever.
Sure.
But where's the time that's dedicated to creating dreams? Because we assume that whatever dreams we might have had as a child will hold up until we're 20-something, but we've lived our whole life since then. And it's really important to actually take a moment where you can have the space and the quiet to go, what do I want? If I could create anything, any kind of life, if I could dream up any kind of wild thing that I would love, what would it be? And so that's what I did, and I had to start asking the questions, and I didn't have the answers, and that was terrifying because I was like, what do I want? But for a few years I just focused on comedy so much, and I just thought, like, that helped me through everything. Laughter is such a healer. It's also a creative space. It's also foundational for entertainment. And I thought, if I could create something for people that I want, which is a place to play and be free and liberate myself and really laugh out loud and let my inner child come out and enjoy that in other people too, then that would probably be my bliss. Much of the time spent was just me with myself going, what is this thing? You know, what is this entity? What do I want to do? What do I want to create? And there was nothing to show for it for a long time. So really, in a lot of ways, I've been with it for a long time, all year, but it's just starting to now grow, you know, and starting to actually become something, like a physical entity that other people can enjoy as well. And I sing and I dance and I love entertaining, and that's what I want to make a living out of, but I don't identify myself. If someone says, oh, Dot's an actor, I'm kind of like, what?
It's a label that doesn't feel...
Yeah, because I've never kind of had that identity thing attached to it, and I think that that's probably the healthiest way that I could possibly do what I enjoy.
Well, what would be your identity then?
I have a tattoo that says ik ben, and it's in Dutch, and it means I am, and that's sort of really foundational for me as a human being, to come back to that knowing that I just am as a human being, I just exist, and that's always changing, and that I just am who I am. Explore it and explore your avenues. values and reshape and change. And be willing to be flexible with reshaping and changing it, you know?
I think that's what's so exciting about what you're doing, you know. It takes a lot of courage to jump into living your best life.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've given, and I think for our audience to understand that when they start going on these kind of processes or plans of going, I'm going to start living for my passion and for what makes me happy, is to not be in a rush. And to...
You can't be flexible with life circumstances, aren't we? There's always an unforeseen challenge that comes along that we don't have an instant answer for.
Yeah.
So to be able to just be creative and be like, what if we did this? And come up with something ridiculous, and then from that ridiculous space it can become more and more logical, and then that's how we have innovative solutions. That's how we find innovation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful.
And
thanks for having me.
I'm excited about everything you're working on.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to see more like this, please subscribe below and hit the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video. I'll also be placing information about Dot, her classes, her podcast, and how to get in touch in the description below.
Thank you for coming.